Once we've got our photo selected, the first thing we're going to do is make marks 1 inch apart along the top of the photo. We're going to make sure that we're measuring from one side. I chose the left side here, and I'm making a nice dark mark every single inch along the top border of the paper. Notice that I lined up the 0 measurement on my ruler with the very leftmost edge of the page. Now I'm going to move my ruler down the page, line up that 0 measurement again on the left side. It's very important that we make sure to measure from the same side each time we measure. I'm going to mark every inch once again. If I make sure to mark on the top and on the bottom, and then I connect those 2 dots with my ruler, as you're about to see me start doing, I'm going to have lines that are straight up and down and are always 1 inch apart from each other. Before I start to connect those dots, now I'm going to make 1 inch marks along the left and right sides of my image. So I'm starting off, I'm measuring the 0 lined up on the top of my picture. I mark every single inch. Now I'm moving on to the left-hand side of my picture, putting that 0 mark right on top of the very top of my actual image, not the edge of the page, on the top of the image itself. And then I'm going to start marking right beside every single inch. Notice when I draw these little marks, I am extending the line that the ruler already has. If you make the little mark at 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch a little bit longer with a line that goes the same exact direction as your ruler marks make, you're going to have a much easier time. Here I'm making sure that my ruler is lined up on the bottom and on the top, and I connect those dots. I'm going to do the same thing, lining up on the bottom dot and on the top dot. You can use your pencil placed right on top of one of the marks, and that can act as a pivot point, which lets you just twist the top to get it on the right spot. Just apply pressure to the ruler and draw a straight line up and down. Here I'm going to finish the lines up and down, and then I'm going to move on and start making lines side to side, making sure that for all of my lines, I line the ruler up on one point, pivot it to the second point, make sure that it's still on the first point, and then connect the dots. I'm going to do that all the way down this picture. If I had wanted to use a 1/2 inch grid or a 2 inch grid, I could of course have done that simply by changing the measurements that I mark at. If we make a 1/2 inch grid, we have to remember